Um, so yeah, let's get to some polishing, like our mine project. Maybe our, I don't know. Let's chart is finished. Same with mode chart. Hector, we need to finish this stage. I think so. To do. Okay, first thing to do. Not like first. It's just we need to do something with this thing. Let's open it with paint.net. Like it should open here. And like open in normal paint this. And let's see. Like this is surely made by like normal. Looks like it is made by a pencil. So it will be kinda hard to like edit it. So yeah, we're not gonna yet do that. What do we have here? What we could change here? Yeah, I have no idea what we could change here. And this we could like get this and wait a minute, I need to open this up. Okay, so now let's select it and like new layer, and I don't know, paste it here. Hey, it's small actually. Let's get this one this time. Still too small? Damn, that's weird. And laggy. For now, let's turn this and this off. This. Boom. Oh yeah, we got this. Okay. At least it worked. Okay, what now? We could like make instead of bad cringe, but not yet. Maybe. No. No. Images shared. Preload. Images. Hmm. Hmm. Still waiting. Still like looking what I can find to edit, but not so much, to be honest. Fonts. No, preload. Images. Yeah, we could like open this also and like copy this, but actually smaller so it can fit here. And here we go, we have. Oh, this is old, but let's make this try it. Campaign menu. Card. Normal. Okay. Logo. No. Yeah, I have no idea what other we can change. Like, let's see if that channel would give us some hints. YouTube. Tak? A patrzeć nie może. Yeah, so this is it, but does it have like new parts? No. Okay, let's look for this. Mm, assets? No. Yep. Export source. display state. Also, they're like here. Well, that isn't too cool, but okay. Wait, what actually was wrong here? But because I remember something was, but what was wrong?
Hey guys,
So here's the code.
as state move the floor and curtain, but make heavy
Memo, no, no, school lever, stage. Whoa, 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 what is here?
again. Make heavy modifications. List
Okay, let's try
continues.
again. Um, search no. Songs, assets, preload, data, stage list, ROM, oh, code, code, couch. Yeah, I think I made it bad.
Line 664.
Well, not perfect, but good. What am I actually doing? Okay, stage, coach, coach. And now I need like image preload data. But where actually is this, like, yeah. Style is this. Whoa, whoa, it's confusing. Okay, let's go to week. Okay, let's make it week 6. And like, couch. This is gonna be week 8. Data source assets. Let's name it week 8. And here, what do we have? Oh! Okay, it isn't that bad. I just copy, new, paste here. Yes, it worked. No, like 3, if I remember good. Oh, here's 4, but here's 3. That's confusing, but let's leave it like this. Damn, this is boring. Maybe I will just play some funny guy in background. Maybe not. But why not? Like you can see it. You know what I like to do when I am bored? To do 2 things at once. Like go here and on YouTube find something and watch it. Or no, I'm not gonna like turn on the second account because it But let's watch um, game, film, game theory. Oh, I know what. Food theory. I haven't watched this episode. It like I am living the new episodes like this also and this episode to watch the new old ones. And when I finish old ones, then I watch the new. So yeah, I need to like make cake for finish making the cake for my dad's birthday. So here, watch this episode yourself.
So, Matt, Gordon Ramsay is watching you, judging your every move. All right, try to think about this logically. In what order should a burger's ingredients be stacked? If the lettuce is on the bottom, it'll catch the juices and keep the bottom bun from getting soggy, right? But if the lettuce is on the bottom, it could block the flavors above it from reaching the taste buds. Should I spread sauces on top of the bottom bun or under the top bun or both? And the cheese, it goes on top of the patty, right? Of course it does. What are you, some kind of under patty sociopath? Although, maybe that's what Gordon Ramsay wants us to be. Okay, focus up. Where do the onions go? Time to make a decision, Matt Pat. Time to... Oh, nice. He died of boredom during my interior monologue. Oh, man, it got cold. Hello, Internet? Welcome to Food Theory, the show that strives to be well done, unlike your burger. Theorists, last summer, Food Theory went to great lengths to determine whether gas grills or charcoal grills were superior. This year, we have a new challenger entering the ring, Traeger, our sponsor for this video, who saw that episode and shipped out one of their Ironwood 885 wood pellet grills to me out of the blue, basically telling me that if I'm serious about reaching my final dad pat form, I'm gonna need to up my grill game. And I gotta say, they nailed my personality in a grill exactly. It's a Wi-Fi enabled grill that I can control with my phone. With my phone, people, just boop, and it's set at the right temperature. It is science and tech and food, and I kinda love it. They also call the Wi-Fi technology Wi-Fire technology. Even their dad jokes are on par with mine. Also, can I just mention how the packaging turns into a cardboard playhouse? It's brilliant because so much of my life at this point is cardboard waste. So well done, Traeger, thinking about us family men.
The grill is slowly emerging, but more importantly, Ollie's new playhouse is being unboxed. Oh, this is so cute.
Ollie is definitely gonna love this, and I gotta admit, I'm a little bit jealous that he gets to play inside this thing. Anyway, because this is a brand deal and I wanted an excuse to try this puppy out, today we've concocted an episode that's got me on an all-day grill-a-thon, cooking up the summer staple, hamburgers. But today is all about what happens when those patties leave the grill. Food Theory is a channel all about optimizing your food experience, even the finer nuances that don't always get a lot of consideration, which is why today we're tackling proper burger stack order. Now look, I get it. The order in which your burger ingredients are stacked might seem nitpicky and pedantic, but there are real reasons why this matters, people. Nobody likes their burger falling apart before it gets to their mouth, and stack order plays a huge role in that. I cannot tell you the number of delicious burgers that have been ruined for me because the sauces and the lettuce mixed together to create like a slip and slide for the patty and it whoop out of the bun. Plus there's the whole matter of how stack order affects the bite experience itself. Two burgers with identical ingredients but different stack orders can result in two different experiences. Bun sogginess, lettuce crispness, heck, certain flavors could even become more pronounced depending on the location in the stack. The way I see it is that there are two types of people out there in the world. Those who worry about the order in which their burger ingredients are stacked and those who don't. If you're part of the latter group, don't fret, because it turns out there are plenty of people out here worrying about this on your behalf. We got proof of this a few years back when a Twitter user by the name of Thomas Bechtel made this astute observation. Quote, I think we need to have a discussion about how Google's burger emoji is placing the cheese underneath the burger while Apple puts it on top. And, well, that conversation definitely happened. Bechtel's tweet blew up, articles were written, and basically the entire internet weighed in on how awful Google's burger emoji stack order was. And it worked. Google corrected their burger emoji in the very next Android update. Plus, all the other burger emojis wound up getting dragged into the conversation, allowing the nitty-gritty subtleties of burger order stack to be discussed out in the open. Bechtel's thread attracted an array of opinions, such as lettuce on the bottom is an abomination. Lettuce protects bun from becoming soggy with meat juice. The hot meat makes the lettuce wilt. You need the tomato as a buffer from the heat. The Samsung one is even worse. Lettuce between the burger and the cheese. It's from top to bottom, lettuce, cheese, tomato, onions, burger. Bottom to top should be lettuce, tomato, burger, cheese. Any other way is sacrilege. Suffice it to say, the internet did not reach consensus that day. People basically agreed that the patty should go between the buns, and that was it. So obviously the world needs a definitive answer to this hamburger humdinger. That is why today Food Theory is going to determine precisely what the optimal stack order is once and for all. Now, before we can test different burger stack orders, we're going to need to agree on a standard set of ingredients. This is easier said than done because there's really no one with final say on the subject. Get it together, hamburgers. The National Hot Dog and Sausage Council over there rules over all wiener-related things with an iron fist. Someone from your camp needs to step it up. And no, it is not going to be this guy. Granted, a great number of foodies and chefs have strong opinions on what should and should not go on a hamburger. But even they can't agree on something as simple as whether ketchup should go on a burger or not, let alone any of the other ingredients. But weirdly enough, there is a lot of ingredient agreement across the various burger emojis. I mean, just look at them all side by side. They all basically have the same stuff in different orders. Buns, patty, cheese, lettuce, tomato. And I see you, WhatsApp, going into more detail than the others. You've added ketchup and possibly onion underneath it. Honestly, I'm cool with all of these ingredients. They all feel like solid examples of what you'd find on a typical burger, especially here in the US. But I also want to toss two other classic ingredients into the mix for the sake of today's experiment. Pickles and mayo, which will add some height and some slipperiness to the burgers to help separate the burger stability men from the burger stability boys. Alright, so now on to the fun stuff. Let's select which stack order is best. The first one we're going to call the Whopper with cheese stack. This one's pretty straightforward. If you order a Whopper with cheese at Burger King, you get a burger with the exact same ingredients that we're stacking today. From bottom to top, the Whopper with cheese is stacked like so. Bottom bun, patty, cheese, pickles, ketchup, onion, tomato, lettuce, mayo, top bun. Also, this happens to be a very popular stack order amongst the burger emojis. Facebook, Messenger, and Microsoft all stack their emojis with the patty on the bottom, with cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce above. And after Google got shamed into changing their burger emoji, they went with this stack order as well. Considering how many emojis in world-famous hamburgers are patterned after the stack order, it definitely feels like the Whopper with cheese is like the #1 seed in this competition with a great shot at winning. The next stack order we're gonna test is a little something I like to call the WhatsApp Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay did not give us permission to use his name for this burger, but deep down I kind of hope it makes him angry enough to call me a donkey to my face, thereby fulfilling the last item on my bucket list. Our thinking with this one is that the stack order of WhatsApp's burger emoji and Ramsay's quote perfect burger are actually pretty similar, with the lettuce leaf on the bottom, a tomato on top of that, then the patty, then the cheese and onion on top. Now, there are obviously some differences between the two burgers. For example, Ramsay grills his onions, whereas our test burgers are going to use raw sliced onions. Also, Ramsay's burger doesn't use ketchup, whereas the WhatsApp burger emoji does. Ramsay does place a lot of importance on using sauce to glue the burger together at multiple levels, however.
How many times have you seen guests that have opened up a burger and they try to put ketchup or mayonnaise? Once you've assembled a burger, you can't break it down. You've got to put it together.
Była na podwórku to poza. Ja stąd nie
In the
mogłem.
end, our WhatsApp Ramsay burger goes bottom bun, mayo, lettuce, tomato, then another touch of mayo,
Just a touch.
followed by the patty with the cheese melted on it. On top of that, we'll put pickles, onions, then the top bun with ketchup applied to the underside for gluing purposes. One last note, Gordon Ramsay finds pickles too acidic for his perfect burger, but again, we're more concerned about the integrity of our experiment today. Our next burger is a fun one. I'm calling it the Krabby Samsung Stack. See, if you look at the Samsung emoji, they do something weird. They put a piece of lettuce between the meat and the cheese, but here's the thing, they're not alone. There's another sandwich that you might be familiar with.
Oh yeah. Like I am back. Hello. And we're back to pain. Like, I didn't watch this episode, and you can watch it yourself, so I will turn this episode. Oh yeah.
Nie czekasz na kodowanie. Zobacz, jakie to proste. W łatwy sposób dostosuj swoją stronę www.
Don't fall for it again, Matt. Not again. Sure, that bag of Doritos looks like a deal there on the shelf, but you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna open it up, and it'll be 84% air and 16% chip. Happens every time. Don't let them get the better of you with some cheap psychological trick, Matt. Don't let them hurt you again. Have some willpower. Do not buy those Doritos.
Oh, Matthew, tell me you didn't just eat an entire bag of Doritos by yourself.
Relax, Steph. It was 84% air. They all were. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's here to crunch the numbers that matter most to your stomach. Friends, of all the first world problems out there, there are exactly two that I believe should be upgraded to the rank of actual problem. One being that pizza boxes are too large to fit inside a normal refrigerator, and the other being the outrageous amount of air inside of chip bags. And yes, it is indeed outrageous. We went ahead and tested it. Busted out old water displacement method and everything. We found the average volume of sealed Doritos bags to be 3,274 milliliters. Meanwhile, the average volume of the chips with all the air vacuumed out was just 525 milliliters. That means 84% of what is inside that bag is air. 84%. Wrap your head around that one, friends. That is the equivalent of having a microwave delivered in a refrigerator box. Like, why? Why are chip manufacturers so incredibly wasteful with their packaging? Why on earth would they willingly pay for more packaging material than necessary to shoulder the cost of shipping air all across the world? They could easily ship the same amount of Doritos in a bag, half the volume, so why don't they simply do that and pay for half as many trucks? Surely there is a reason for this that makes dollars and cents, which leads me to wonder, are chip manufacturers using deceptive packaging to trick consumers into paying more for less? Like how those seemingly huge chocolate bunnies you get around Easter always wind up being hollow, or how the pepperonis on frozen pizza always seem to be denser when the packaging is clear. On the other hand, maybe Frito-Lay
Not
actually has good reason for selling
true.
those bags filled with mostly air. And if so, I am all ears, hollow, chocolatey ears. But we need answers, and that's why today Food Theory is rolling up its sleeves, getting its hands dusty, and carrying out an experiment that'll answer this chippy little question once and for all. Are Doritos bags fair, or are they full of hot air? Not to go all clickbait on you, but the answers are actually really surprising. Now, an important thing to note about the quote-unquote air inside of a Doritos bag is that it's not actually air, it's truly nitrogen gas. Now, if that sounds like a dangerous substance for your food basket, don't worry, it's fine. In fact, 78% of the air filling your lungs at this very moment is nitrogen gas. Oxygen only makes up about 21% of the air
Nice.
that we breathe. Why fill chip bags with nitrogen gas, you ask? Because chips are actually able to stay fresh longer in an oxygen-free environment. O2 molecules like to create chemical reactions with all sorts of different partners, and these reactions are a big reason why food tends to go stale. N2 molecules, on the other hand, are more stable. They don't tend to react with other molecules nearly as easily. Plus, aerobic bacteria can't survive without oxygen, so that's a little perk of the job. Long story short, nitrogen gas plays a super important role inside your Doritos bag. But still gotta wonder, does there really need to be so much of the gas in there? Sure, chips may need an oxygen-free
Interesting thing here, like there's memes. Let's meme. And yeah, all from that what I see, it may be like this is fake. Like this is not possible. And this another type of memes. Another type of memes like that. Because you, like you can survive everything only nitrogen.
number of Doritos inside. Appropriately sized bags can be oxygen-free too, you know, which brings us to the other role that nitrogen gas plays inside our Doritos bag, slack fill. Ever notice how your chip bag is filled almost all the way, but it's never completely inflated and stretched out like a balloon? This is actually by design, and it allows the nitrogen gas to exist as a relaxed cushion around your chips, protecting them from damage during transport. Leaving the bag slightly underfilled prevents the bag from popping too easily, especially when it's traveling at high altitudes where atmospheric pressures diminish. Now, I can definitely understand why you wouldn't want your bag of Doritos to pop before it gets to the store, and I also get how a pocket of air could help protect Doritos if something were to impact the bag, but what about if the bag gets shaken? Having empty space surrounding the Doritos seems to fly in the face of everything we know about safety equipment like, I don't know, seat belts, which are designed to keep passengers snug in place so they don't rattle around inside the vehicle during an accident. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws here, but I'm just not convinced that Frito-Lay would inject that much air into their bags just to make sure that the chips don't break. For one thing, nitrogen gas doesn't seem to be doing a heck of a great job protecting the chips from breaking. I sent field researcher Luke out to examine 3 dozen 9 1/4 ounce bags of Nachos Cheesier. By weighing hundreds of full unbroken Doritos, we were able to determine that an average Dorito chip weighs 1.81 grams. The contents of a single Doritos bag average 241.5 grams, a bit less than the 262.5 that they claim on the packaging, meaning that our Doritos bags would have held an average of 133 full unbroken chips when they were prepared at the factory. But by the time they made their journey from the factory to the grocery store and eventually to Luke's house, only 33.1% of the chips managed to stay intact. 67% of all the Doritos we bought were broken by the time the bag was opened. This means that while a typical Doritos bag leaves the factory with roughly 133 unbroken chips inside, only about 33 of them arrive at the destination fully intact. 100 break along the the way. And look, I get that broken Doritos aren't the worst thing in the world. It's not like we're talking about fine china or a PS5 that gets rendered useless when it breaks in half. In my experience, broken Doritos are just as delicious as unbroken Doritos. But still, 67% breaking strikes me as a pretty high casualty rate for a product that supposedly fills its bags with a special gas in order to prevent that very thing from happening. I just can't escape the feeling that at least part of Doritos' goal here is to trick consumers with oversized deceptive packaging. And so, we designed an experiment to test whether all that extra airspace in the bag really helps, or if a different amount of gas might actually be more effective at keeping your Doritos intact. We began by gathering every single unbroken Dorito from all 36 Nacho Cheesier bags. It took a while, but luckily there were plenty of broken Doritos available to munch on whenever hunger struck. We then took 133 of those unbroken Doritos chips and sealed them away inside an empty bag. This, theoretically, is how a typical 9 1/4 ounce Doritos bag begins life in a factory, before any of the Doritos actually gets broken during the transport process. We called this one the average bag, since it was filled with the average number of Doritos.
That's interesting. Like, look, it is full when he leaves the...
Google Internetowa rewolucja oferuje ponad 40 bezpłatnych kursów online. Zdobywaj nowe umiejętności, na przykład podstawy marketingu internetowego i rozwijaj karierę.
I don't care. I'm like 15. I am not allowed to like make money. Yet.
133 unbroken Doritos inside, then sealed all 3 bags with 2,749 milliliters of atmospheric air, giving all of the bags the average 3,274 milliliters of total volume and the typical 84% air to 16% Dorito ratio. Yes, we took this way too seriously, but if we don't take it that seriously, who else will? And yes, just so we get everything on the table, we used atmospheric air instead of nitrogen gas. But we decided not to worry about it since keeping the Doritos fresh isn't a concern for this particular experiment. We then prepared a second set of Doritos bags much the same way, except we only put about half the normal number of Doritos inside, 67. We called this set of 3 bags the fewer chips bags since, pretty self-explanatory, they only had 8% Doritos by volume. Finally, we prepared 3 more chips bags which contained, go figure, more than the usual amount of Doritos inside. Originally, we'd planned to put 266 unbroken Doritos, or twice the average amount inside each of these 3 bags, but we ran into a problem. The chips wouldn't fit. That's right, despite the fact that 266 Doritos takes up way less volume than the bag's capacity of 3,274 milliliters, they were so awkwardly shaped that they simply couldn't all fit inside without being broken first. See also our film theory episode on the coins in Scrooge McDuck's money bin for a deeper dive on this exact concept.
Yeah, like I watched this and like money like don't like stack up. Like if I remember good, about like 57% on random money stacking is air, if I remember good. Looks like I need to like finish it just.
The DuckTales theme song in that episode. Thanks for asking. Anyway, in the end, we had to reduce the number of Doritos in our more chips bags down to 163. That was the absolute maximum number of intact Doritos we were able to
That it's small, like.
fit inside each bag, and to even get that many in, we had to carefully line them up side by side tightly against each other. Our more chips bags ultimately wound up with 20% Doritos by volume, but gotta admit, it was not easy. And honestly, the whole process of refilling the Doritos bags made us realize something really important. 133 unbroken Doritos is basically the maximum number of chips that can fit loosely in a Doritos bag. It was actually pretty tough to get the bag closed with 133 loose chips inside in the first place. We had to shake it down a fair bit to make it work. Sure, there's a lot of airspace inside the bag by the time it travels to the store and makes it to the grocery cart, but that's because a lot of chips have broken by that point. Look at it from the perspective of the worker at the Frito-Lay factory. Every bag they ship out from the factory is probably filled to the brim with perfect unbroken Doritos. So it was at this point in the experiment that we first felt a twinge of guilt about making this episode in the first place. Somewhere in the back of our minds, we began to understand that Doritos wasn't actually trying to trick us with deceptive packaging. They were actually just doing their very best to get the delicious tortilla chips out to the people of the world. Nevertheless, we choked back these sentimental feelings because science doesn't care about your feelings, and we pressed on.
Nice. Mm, mm, GT Live, and now we look at this. Okay, that's all. Looks like that's all.
Now it was time for the fun part. Putting our experimental Doritos bags through a series of tortures. Alright, it was just like 2 tortures. Also, they weren't really tortures. We just kind of recreated the jostling and squeezing a real Doritos bag might encounter during the shipping process. After some trial and error, we developed 2 tests that, when carried out back to back, inflicted the perfect amount of damage. Since the real-life Doritos bags from the store averaged a breakage rate of 67%, we tweaked our Dorito torture such that they broke approximately 67% of the Doritos in the average bags as well. First Dorito torture, pressing. We gently laid a 25-pound or 11.4 kilogram weight on top of each Doritos bag for 10 seconds. This low-impact, high-pressure stress test was
Like I know a little from chemistry, so if this is a nitrogen, that means like it cannot have 4 lines. So that means there should be 2 lines. She is oxygen, which need to have like 2 lines here, one here, one here. Same with oxygen here. Same with oxygen here. Somewhere here, I guess. And that's all. As I see. And here is oxygen again. 10 and oxygen. Okay. It is ugly, but let's leave it at it is. Okay, now that's
assess how well each bag's air cushion protected the Doritos inside. Judging by the amount of crunching we heard from each bag, it's fair to say that the fewer chips bag, which contained the fewest Doritos and the largest air cushion, had fewer Doritos broken during the test than the other fuller bags did. The second torture, highly scientific test, was to drop the bags onto the ground from a height of 8 feet. This sudden high-impact trial was meant to test the seatbelt theory, that Doritos packed tightly into a bag are better protected than loosely packed Doritos. Finally, after all bags were dropped, it was time to open them up and assess the damage. First up were the more chips bags, and these guys had a rough time under that 25-pound weight. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of Doritos to be intact, and I was certainly right to think that. Of the 163 Doritos we packed inside each more chips bag, only 33 of the chips made it out unscathed on average, for a breakage rate of nearly 80%. Next, we opened up the average bags. By design, 33.3 chips per bag made it through our Doritos tortures unbroken, for a breakage rate of about 75%. So the average bag clearly outperformed the more chips bag. Not only was its breakage rate lower, but the average bag actually produced more unbroken chips overall, which is surprising since it had fewer chips to work with. Last but certainly not least, we had ourselves the fewer chip bags. Well, I guess they actually are least since they have the fewest number of chips, but whatever. I still think they're pretty great. Anyway, an average of 14.7 of every 67 chips made it through intact, giving the fewer chips bag a breakage rate of 78.1%. That's right, theorists. The average bag, patterned after the way Frito-Lay actually fills their bags in real life, performed the best. Hands down. Packing more Doritos into the bag resulted in a higher percentage of broken Doritos. Placing fewer Doritos into the bag resulted in a higher breakage rate as well. The kicker is that the average bags produced an average of 33.3 unbroken chips per bag, the highest number of intact chips of any of our 3 competitors, period. So at this point, I'm busting out the couch and the sad music because this YouTuber owes Doritos an apology. Since the dawn of the internet, chip makers have been getting dragged for putting so much air into their chip bags. And I guess I got wrapped up in it all. Yeah, I'll admit it, when I first set out to make this video, I figured it would wind up being a bit of a takedown episode that showed how Doritos packaging is deceptive and doesn't actually help protect the chips. But the numbers are in, and Doritos straight up slapped me down on both fronts. Today's experiment demonstrates that the slack fill approach can't keep most Doritos in the bag from breaking, but the 84% gas to 16% chip ratio does cut down on chip breakage more than other fill ratios. So hats off to you, Doritos. I'm sorry that I ever doubted you. And hats off to our sponsor for today's episode, Noom. Steph and I have been using the health program Noom for a couple months now, and this thing is sneaky effective. It has this way of suggesting tiny little life changes that snowball into big, legit health improvements in our lifestyle. See, I'm not exactly what you call a diet person. I mean, clearly I'm not. I just spent the last week testing entire bags of Doritos. But gotta say, I have been really impressed with the simplicity and approach of Noom's program. Like the other day, the program suggested that I should just try working my favorite green food into my diet. Joke's on them, my favorite green food is green M&Ms. Booyah! No, but in all seriousness, it's broccoli, closely followed by asparagus. Seems too easy to actually work, right? And yet here I am, 4 days later in the recording booth. I just finished eating breakfast and I worked spinach into my morning eggs for the third consecutive morning. And I think that's because Noom's approach is different from anything I've tried before. They're really focused on disrupting behaviors and routines using proven psychology and cognitive behavioral therapy practice. And this is by no means the most impressive part of their program, not even close, but something that's been shockingly helpful for me is how it lets me track my water intake. I've been trying to get better about drinking water since forever, and this Noom is somehow getting me to finally do it. Anyway, if an app that uses psychological tactics to lead you to a healthier lifestyle sounds like your cup of tea, take your free 30-second quiz using my link in the description to get started today. So far, the program's been really clicking with Steph and I. Who knows, maybe the Fourth Theory channel will wind up being fitness related, huh? Fitness?
No!
But seriously, just follow the link in the description to take Noom's quiz.
We don't want that.
Again, it is literally 30 seconds long and completely free. And while you're doing that, always remember, it's all just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit.
Przeszłaś na ziemi?
Zielone miasto.
Dzikie łąki.
Wakacje bez suszy.
Kąpiele w Bałtyku.
What is this? Okay, let's now I actually watch that. What else did we? Oh,
In the exact same way that
this.
earlier this year on April Fool's Day, Food Theory released an episode about Grubhub's bizarre 3D animated campaign. Some of you theorists out there dubbed the episode The New Sans' Nest. Now, I won't say we don't deserve that, but what I will say is that new Grubhub evidence has come to light. Evidence that confirms our theory and then some. Buckle up, because the deep well of Grubhub lore just got a whole lot deeper. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that officially has merch now. That's right, theorists. Behind the scenes, we've been busy cooking up Food Theory t-shirts, reusable cups, pizza plushies, and my personal favorite, aprons. And let me tell you, I'm not...
Oh wait! Now I realized that Food Theory didn't have a merch until now. A Game Theory had, Film Theory had, but Food Theory didn't. That's interesting. No. Why? Oh wait. Good.
Here, theorists, that is 100% swag. Friends, we went all out with our food theory merch. Feeling a little salty? Then you're gonna love our Ramen Champion t-shirt. You ever had a big gulp? Well then try a Theory Gulp. It's one in a collection of 3 heavy-duty, reusable, dishwasher-safe food theory cups that are much better for your brain, not to mention the environment. Your soft and squishy pizza plushie will become your new best friend. True story, he was inspired by Slice, my New York pizza plushie that I've had since my theater days. This guy's been with me since before we started game theory, and now you could have a slice of your own for whatever journey you're about to start. And the apron. The apron is my absolute favorite. Look at the stitching on this thing. Heavy canvas, nice and long, double pockets. I mean, this thing screams kiss the cook without even saying it. And if I'm being honest, this is the food theory merch item that I've gotten the most use out of by far. It's hot grillin' summer, and Dad Pat's basically been rocking this food theory apron non-stop since Memorial Day. If you're at all interested, make sure you check them out. The items are listed directly below this video. And who knows, if you guys are excited about this food theory merch, then maybe some food theory cookware might be coming down the line. That would be so cool. All right, so that's super exciting thing number 1. Super exciting thing number 2 is the mysterious
That would be cool.
that arrived on my doorstep from Grubhub a week ago. I cannot stress this enough, theorists. This episode is 100% hashtag not spawn. Grubhub somehow tracked down my address and sent me this cryptic package with the word confidential actually scrawled across the front. Never did I think that this would become my life, but I guess this is what I get for firing up an April Fool's Day theory linking the Grubhub cinematic universe to the Jimmy Neutron cinematic universe. And yes, for the uninitiated, I say Grubhub cinematic universe. For those of you who haven't seen the episode or have successfully scrubbed it from your memory, the basic gist of the story is this. Grubhub recently released a series of ridiculous commercials featuring 3D animated characters, which led to a tidal wave of remarkable internet memes. Great internet minds figured out that there are actual relationships and backstories to these characters, aka actual Grubhub lore. And where there's lore, there is MatPass. We took it from there, picking up on some key details that suggested the cast of the 3D animated Grubhub commercials was in fact the cast of Nickelodeon's 3D animated hit show Jimmy Neutron just 20-ish years in the future. And I know that sounds crazy, but honestly it's only the second weirdest Nickelodeon 3D animated nostalgia meme that's making the rounds at the moment. The first is that Backyardigans song that recently took the #1 slot on Spotify.
This was the song from TikTok. What's now like I thought like Baby Shark was sweet, but now what is going to be next? What is going to be next? Okay, I am just gonna this and this. Like, why? Okay, that's it. It will be good episode.
The full episode where we laid it out piece by piece. Now, when I first opened this confidential package, I was hoping it would be one of 2 things. Either complete verification that our theory was true, or complete verification that our theory was wrong. I'll be honest, Chicken Sandwich Guy has been making regular appearances in my nightmares for the past few months, and I am more than ready to put this chapter of my life to rest. But alas, the contents of the package only pulled me in deeper, to the extent that I'm concerned Grubhub might become the FNAF of the food theory channel. So,
Oh no.
for better or worse, theorists, let's unpack this envelope together. The first thing I pulled out was this.
What? Oh my god, that's so cheeky. I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, that's the bag that I concluded killed Milkshake Lady, though Goddard and the crowd seemed to have disappeared by the time the image was captured. Grubhub apparently wants us to look into that tan house in the background, or maybe they mean something else in the vicinity, like the blue car. It's worth noting that the tan house and blue car are shown in the commercials that we analyzed in the first episode. They're just easy to overlook since they're mostly obscured by the crowd. We double-checked this house and car against a lot of the cars and houses of the Jimmy Neutron verse and came up empty-handed. Next out of the envelope was this extreme wide shot of the entire town. Another source for clues, it would seem.
Oh, is this like, wait, is this like a Where's Waldo now?
I think we're gonna have to identify where the city is. By the way, we couldn't find the tan house in this wide shot, but we may have located the blue house with the red roof that's directly next door to the tan house, way down there in the right-hand corner. Still don't know what any of that means, though. We'll talk about that later in this episode. But that's certainly not all that was in the package, not by a long shot. Grubhub also included a whole slew of fun props like Goddard blueprints that suggests that he indeed is the brown dog in the Grubhub commercial. A save the date that suggests Milkshake Lady and Taco Guy, aka Adult Jimmy Neutron, did in fact go through a bad breakup. And even a receipt that included a purchase of a purple Flurp, aka the signature drink of Jimmy Neutron. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in here, and the clues obviously all link the GCU to the Jimmy Neutron universe. Now, at this point I do want to add this. Food Theory reached out to Grubhub after we received the package. Grubhub verified that it was indeed sent by them, which means that all of this, all of it, everything contained inside the package, like this striped shirt that's eerily similar to the McSpanky's uniform in the Jimmy Neutron universe, is now part of the Grubhub cinematic universe. Sorry folks, this is canon. Nothing we can do about it now. Think about it this way. The creative minds behind the MCU have decided that Hawkeye wears Oakley shades, Bose headsets, and drives an Acura. Whether we like it or not, that's the way it is, because that's their call. Likewise, if the creative minds behind the GCU say their dog placed an order from a taqueria in Bedford, Texas, near the supposed location of Jimmy Neutron's hometown of Metroville, that's their prerogative, and who are we to say otherwise? Incidentally,
What?
Bedford, Texas is...
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good, no, perfect words that make your writing sharp, or explicit, or excellent, or distinctive. As a matter of fact, for what it's worth, Grammarly can, yeah, that's long. We can get rid of that, and this, good, and this, or how about this? Grammarly helps you be precise. If your tone might make someone feel like this, Grammarly can remind you. It would help if you soften your tone. And if you need the support, Grammarly encourages you to write confidently. Because the better we all can...
a major link to the Jimmy Neutron universe. Though it's never explicitly stated in the show, there's good reason to believe that Retroville, Jimmy Neutron's fictional hometown, is located in Texas. Not only do we straight up see Jimmy Neutron blast off from Texas on a map, but the show's real-life production studio, DNA Productions, was located in Dallas, Texas. So when Grubhub references Bedford or includes a plane ticket to Fort Worth in their confidential package, it's pretty clear that they're linking the GCU characters to the greater Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which means that they're linking the GCU to Retroville. So yeah, that is a pretty big connection. But the biggest find from the envelope had to be this. There's a USB drive in here. Now, what you need to understand is that we here at Food Theory scoured the internet high and low for every 3D animated Grubhub commercial in existence. But it turns out there's at least one more commercial out there. A commercial that, as far as we can tell, has never been released. That's right, theorists. The thumb drive contained the animatic for a never-before-seen Grubhub commercial connected to this whole conspiracy. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what an animatic is, it's basically a lightly animated storyboard, sometimes with an audio soundtrack. An animatic will often get produced before the final polished animation takes place. This way, the entire creative team can be on the same page about the story, the camera angles, etc. For instance, here's a scene from Incredibles 2 with the animatic and final scene side by side. Now, given that the file name for this animatic was GH Unreleased MP4, it seems Grubhub intended to produce this commercial at one point but changed their mind for whatever reason. But I cannot overstate how exciting it is for Food Theory to get our hands on this. Even in animatic form, another unaired Grubhub commercial helps round out the GCU that much further. So what exactly is in this ad? Well, it features a lot of familiar faces from the ads that you already know and cringe love. Chicken Sandwich Guy, Milkshake Lady, and one of the college-aged characters that we'll call Burrito Guy. But the animatic stars a character that we didn't talk a whole lot about in our first Grubhub episode, Salad Lady, who, as we established, is actually the adult version of...
Okay. So yeah, we have this, and let's like pick some Easter eggs on it. The first thing that's come into my mind is to be honest, let's make like What is that? Let's take classic calibre. And like 10. You will be like no. Wow. What? Mm. Um. Uh, yeah, it's like here random Easter eggs. Titanic has time travel. Hmm. Be free. Free. Hmm. Green, red, yellow. Blue. Mm, what's now? Uh, PewDiePie, what's which other YouTubers? Mm, hey, it's kinda lot. Not lot, but um, mm, what next? Fortnite has 64. Hmm. Like, it took me... Why? Books in binary. Hmm. This was broken. Hmm. And advertising, no. Intros. Hmm. 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 Okay, let's see what film theory has to offer.
So who's coming over?
Mm, 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 mm. I change size again by here. Mm,
Vegeta, what does the Scouter say about it? To harness key-related attacks. The Yamcha battle in particular shows why Shaggy wouldn't be able to hold his own in a fight like this. Wikipedia, her power level at the time was 130. The next power level up that we see from there is 130 and 139. Man, I feel like a Your Movie Sucks review right now. Well, it's
like between these. Mm, mm, Like before intro, first intro, second intro, and now this intro. So 3 times. Ash is Pokemon Alola. What next? Wyjdź z tego. Well, looks like I need to finish for now. Let me just save this file. Not finished yet, so yet. And bye.